Hey Mid-Atlantic, I'm Peter Lampisona, the state representative for New York and New Jersey of what, if it's not yet, will be your favorite MMA site. Anyway, experimenting with a video blog here. I never really thought much of video blogs. It seemed more like for the excessively pretty or those who really can't write their thoughts down on paper. But afterward, I've seen a lot of people do a lot of really cool things, somewhat experimental things with video blogs beyond just sitting down and talking to the camera, which I'm doing right now. And I wanted to try and test it out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a couple of just fun extras on the video blog, and then if we come up with some good ideas, maybe use that as something more serious to do involving local combat sports. For now, I'd like to open it up with just something that I wanted to introduce to the community. It's a game that we play here in New York, something that's really related to combat sports, and one of my favorite parts, actually. And I'd want to share it with the rest of the Mid-Atlantic or anyone else who might be joining us on the site. Okay, what it is it's called the Jason Chambers game. Now, if you don't know who Jason Chambers is, that would be, he's a mixed martial artist. I believe he's retired, though I'm not sure if his retirement is set in stone. He had some knee problems a while back. He's a commentator for Bellator Fighting Championship, but the time that you really saw Jason Chambers the most, when he became a public figure, was on the TV show The Human Weapon. Now, if you're not familiar, what it was Jason Chambers and a man called, his name's Bill Duff. He was sort of a Jackson to Chambers' Frank Dukes. And they went around and, to different countries. It was a lot like Fight Quest or Dhani Tackles the Globe. And they practiced the martial art of that country, and in the end they would do some kind of competition with a resident expert there. Now, the show, it actually became pretty popular. They had a similar show called Fight Quest that did a spin-off on another channel, so it was fairly popular. A lot of people have seen it. But the producers of the show didn't seem like they had that much confidence in how the show was going to play out. So they really put it on Chambers to make it more exciting. And what Jason Chambers would do, and this is called pulling a Jason Chambers and an integral part of the Jason Chambers game, is that he would take whatever technique they were learning or whatever they were talking about, and he would describe it using some physics, enough to make it seem scientific without getting into enough detail for it to be useful or therefore boring. And then he would, or sort of add a spike onto it, add a little punctuation there. He would always end it, no matter what technique he was talking about, with how it could be potentially fatal to whoever you're doing it to. So what we do with the Jason Chambers game is we take any technique, be it martial or simply something that you're doing around the house, and in a really excited voice describe what it is using pseudo-physics. Again, nothing terribly complicated, nothing that actually gets into physics, but say it like it's scientific. And then we, with a really excited voice, and then punctuate it with how whatever you're doing or talking about can be potentially fatal. An example of that would be a teep. Teep, it's the Muay Thai term. It's very common term. You might also have heard of front push kick. It's just a maneuver where you extend your leg into an oncoming opponent with the ball of your foot and sort of break his momentum, push him away, create some space. But where Jason Chambers to describe it, it would be the teep uses the force of your leg and your own opponent's momentum crashing into one another and forcing him back. Should this be done to push an opponent into traffic, the results could be deadly. It's a little silly, but it's something fun that we like to do, and I'm inviting the rest of the internet to do it. Take anything that you know or know how to do and describe it in the Jason Chambers fashion. Alright, that ends this first experimental video blog. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy the fights.